What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports to help give you the edge for this 6-game NBA slate. Cannot wait to break it down. If you guys are brand new to this channel, we provide both free and paid content for all daily fantasy sports across all sports. If you're going to be entered into our $25 giveaway, please like, subscribe, and also comment your favorite GPP play for this NBA slate. If you guys want to know more about becoming a better DFS player and taking down that big GPP, head over to www.patreon.com/dgfantasy for more information. On Patreon, we give advanced cheat sheets for all DFS sports on DraftKings. These cheat sheets include updated projections, ownership, and our overall favorite plays from slate to slate. We take it a step further by teaching you how to play fantasy sports like a shark, by showing you where the best leverage spots are to put you in the best spots to take down tourneys. Also included is our private Discord chat where you get to talk over the slate with everyone, including our coaches, to help build your lineups. Now let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 6-game slate. But first, you guys know I have to go over the Patreon success from last night. Had a crazy good night personally. This was not my screenshot, but one of our Patreon members turned $33 into $600, $12 into $300, $40 into $200. And guys, look how low the scores were last night. He only ended with 264 in this contest. He literally got a takedown, 287, and got a takedown, 287 in all the rest of the contest. So just all the way around success from all of our Patreon users. I also want to talk strategy here real quick. Had another crazy, almost near takedown here on FanDuel, and then our NBA coach also did well too. This was my personal single entry lineup, guys, and I just want to talk about overall lineup construction. The 76ers had about a 9-man rotation last night. And because of that, even if they got blown out, which they did, you can still stack on the Philly 76ers and expect them to be on the court. One thing I always talk about during the live streams is prioritize minutes, and that's exactly what I did. I literally got 6 of my 8 spots all with 76ers. The ownership was lower on the guys that got the extra garbage time run, and that pushed me over the edge. And if the starters ended up doing very well, I still had some good value plays at the bottom of my lineup here with Mateus, Reed, Maxey, and Joe. So when I say stack the team that has all the injuries, I literally mean stack the team that has all the injuries. So, the 76ers were in a great spot last night with all their bench play, and they ended up getting blown out. So the chalk missed because Danny Green didn't get extended time. Joel Embiid didn't get that extended run, and the rest of the players did very well. This was one of my single entry contests, and I just wanted to show you my actual build. I'm not lying when I say I stack the entire team, and this is something I talk about on the live streams. Just want to make sure you guys don't just play the chalk plays when we look at those specific teams with injuries, because we're going to have a very similar situation with the Heat tonight, and I want to make sure that you guys are aggressive as well, at least in smaller GPPs. So let's go ahead and talk about the slate, starting out with the Miami Heat. We have Olynyk questionable, but more on the probable side. We have Vincent probable. We have Leonard questionable. And then we have a buttload of other injury news here because of COVID, unfortunately. Adebayo, Bradley, Butler, Dragic, Harkless, Haslem, Nunn, Akpala, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Don't really know. Don't really care. They are all out. So because of that, there's going to be a very thin rotation, about a 7 to 8 man rotation here for the Heat. I don't think you can technically play with less than 8, so it has to be an 8-man rotation. And they're ironically playing the 76ers. The 76ers actually have a lot of questionable guys back, but they are probable. But the one team that we're going to be honing in on are the Miami Heat. Okay, and I want you guys to understand, aggressively stack these guys if this game does play again. There's a slight chance it might be postponed just based on the nature of these games, but again, we have to look at them here in a little bit. With Utah, it's Brantley and Morgan technically out. Cleveland, it is with Exum, Love, Dellavedova, Porter, and Windler. They are all out. Denver, Porter, Winnington is out. And then with Brooklyn, Kyrie Irving, still don't know what's going on with him. That's not COVID related. It's personal issues. I don't understand. He's out. Tyler Johnson, Dinwiddie, and Claxton are still out. The Boston-Chicago game's already postponed. The Lakers are questionable, or AD is questionable. LeBron James is questionable. Dudley and Matthews, yes, the Lakers overall are questionable. Houston, Daniel House, and Thomas are still out. Doesn't really impact them. San Antonio, Derek White, and actually DeRozan is out. However, the price tags did come up on the Spurs, so So I still have a little bit of interest with them, but based on what they did last time, not the most interest. It was definitely a pop troll slate rather. OKC, it's Ariza and Jerome that are questionable, and with Indiana, Oladipo is questionable due to rest. He played last night on a back-to-back, really late too, so he has a high probability that he might actually rest. So that will open up some opportunities here for the Pacers. With Golden State, no slate-breaking injury news. Now let's go ahead and start with the Heat. Like I said, guys, I want to cover these guys all the way. Right now, we're going to expect Olynyk and Vincent do play. So we technically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people total for the Miami Heat. And then Leonard is also questionable. If he does play, he'll be thrown into the rotation as well. But if we just take a second here and observe all the minutes, Tyler Hero projected at 38, Duncan Robinson 36, Olynyk 33, and then Precious 27, Andre Iguodala 27, Vincent 24. All of these guys are going to be potentially playing 25 minutes plus, but that's not the good part. The good part is the price tags, okay? Tyler Hero, $6,700 is the most expensive. Duncan Robinson, $4,800. Olynyk, $53. Precious, $31. Iguodala, $33. And then Vincent, $3,000. These guys are all really close to the minimum price tag, and you're getting starter minutes. And they have to be on the floor, even in blowouts. Talking specifically about Andre Iguodala, talking about Precious, talking about Gabe, Struss, and Silva. So those guys are going to be the guys that I'm focusing on. The crossover guys like Iguodala that should play even in blowout time. Precious should definitely play, or in slam spots tonight. Unless they're literally missing every single shot tonight, there's no reason that they shouldn't hit value. So absolutely love the Heat tonight, and I think you need to start your builds here. Yes, up to 6 potentially good Heat players for your lineups, and then filling in the rest with some studs. I think that's a great build, and again, assuming these guys play, and I don't see any other teams really competing with a value here for the Heat, I really do love the Heat. Switching over to the 76ers, we saw last night what they did. We do have a lot of people back, and the price tags did come up. Ben Simmons at $8,900. Maxey's now at $5,500. Have no interest there. Joel Embiid, $9,700. Do have some interest just because there's nobody playing center for the Miami Heat. He should dominate. I do like him for a pay-up option, but the rest of these guys' price tags don't really intrigue me. They are all too high, especially playing not over 25 minutes. Looking over at Denver, I do have some interest here in Jokic with Porter technically out. He does get a slight usage bump. He averages 1.6 fantasy points per minute. Comes out to a 5.1 point per dollar value. Does have a really good matchup here. We know we like to target centers against Brooklyn. Do like his price tag, $11K. I think it is a very safe bet. Jamal Murray, always a good GPP option, $6,900. But other than that, really no interest all the way around here for Denver. Looking over at Brooklyn, Kevin Durant averages 1.61 fantasy points per minute without Kyrie Irving and Dinwiddie on the court. 6.2 point per dollar value. Really do like his price tag. $9,400 is still underpriced. He's more of a 10 to 11K player without Kyrie Irving, and he's projected at 36 minutes. Really do like the matchup here. Denver ranks 28th against opposing power forwards, so I'm going to be all aboard Kevin Durant. I think he's my favorite pay-up option here on the slate. Karis LeVert, I do like for JPP's. $7,600 is actually still too cheap. Should get to about 38 points to hit that value, and he just fell right below it. So I still do like him for JPP's, especially if he comes off the bench. Should be starting. Joe Harris, a JPP option, but nobody else really had too much interest here for Brooklyn. Utah is playing Cleveland. A pace down spot for them, and now the price tags are a lot higher for the Utah Jazz, where they should be. Donovan Mitchell, $8,400. Gobert, $8,200. Really don't have any interest here outside of bigger tournaments. Going over to Cleveland, we still have very thin rotations. More importantly, with Okoro is projected at 35 minutes. He finally hit value. He's such a bad fantasy point per minute player, but he does get 40 minutes. And without Colin Sexton, he should get that again. If Sexton is in, I definitely don't like Okoro anymore. But if Sexton is out, I do like Okoro for value. $3,400 is still really, really cheap. All the status is going to depend on Sexton, or all the value rather. Andre Drummond still in a good spot, $9,100. Still relatively cheap against Utah. However, it is a worse matchup. It's all going to depend on if Sexton does play or not. We will update that a little bit later on the live stream. Looking over at the Lakers here, we have LeBron James, AD. No interest here unless one of those two are ruled out. Strictly GPP options. And right now we have Wesley Matthews out, which just gives a little bit of minute boost here to Caldwell Pope, to Tucker, Schroeder. Not too much of a usage boost at all whatsoever. $6,100. I actually do like Schroeder for a GPP option. Has been able to hit that value the last two contests and the last contest against Houston. Looking at Houston, not too much value here. 10-8 for Harden is priced accordingly. All the price tags did come down. So if you want to take a stab at John Wall or Harden or Christian Wood, John Wall is technically questionable, so we will pay attention to that. If he is ruled out, I do have more interest in somebody like James Harden or Christian Wood. Going down to the Spurs, and guys, I know I'm going right through the slate here because it's very, very obvious right now what direction I want you guys to go in. So going down to the Spurs here, we do not have DeRozan. Trey Lyles did start last game. Is projected 29 minutes, so I do like him for value. Easily paid off his price tag. Yet another value play. Again, if he's getting those 29 minutes and if he is playing with the starters, I do like this. Not that bad of a matchup. It's going to be a pace down spot for the Spurs. $3,300 is not that bad of a price tag. Definitely like him. LaMarcus Aldridge also not in a bad spot without DeRozan. Does get a usage boost. 5.9 point per dollar value. I can't talk this morning. Lonnie Walker had a great game. He was actually one of my favorite GPP options the last time when he was at $4,800. Now he's at $5,400. Played in 30 minutes and still scored 39 points, so it can easily cover his price tag. Really like him as a GPP option. Same thing for DeJounte Murray. He actually gets the biggest usage boost and was a big disappointment last time. The Spurs only put up 88 points. They should put up more points here against OKC. So I do like DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray should be on the more chalky side just because he was that obvious of a play last time. And I expect people not to have recency bias. I hope that they don't because he's a really good usage guy here. Should be more of a borderline cash GPP option. Same thing with Keldon Johnson. $6,200. Really don't mind him. Averaging close to a fantasy point per minute. Don't mind him at a 5.5 point per dollar value. Going over to OKC, no interest whatsoever here. All the price tags are a bit higher than I want them to be. SGA still 8K, no interest all the way around. Indiana, this is where I have the most interest. If Oladipo does sit, it's going to open up a door of opportunity here for somebody like Aaron Holiday. For Justin Holiday, they're going to get a boost in minutes. And then Aaron Holiday is $3,300. Not saying he's the best value play, but as you guys can see, there's so many value plays throughout the slate. And this is a late night hammer in the pace of spot. So I do like all of these players. I'm going to be covering on the live stream who this benefits the most, but it's going to benefit guys like Sabonis. It's going to benefit guys like Brogdon in terms of usage. Do like them to get a usage boost. And Sabonis's price tag did not move whatsoever from last night. I still like him at a $9,300 price tag. Last but not least, the Golden State Warriors. No interest here whatsoever. Andrew Wiggins, $6,300. I guess you could take a stab at him and GPPs, but Draymond Green got an aggressive price tag boost to $5,600. I don't think that's very accurate. I think it needs to stay lower to the 5 and 4K range. Steph Curry, $9,800 for GPPs. But other than that, really have no interest here in this last game. And that will end my video, guys. Very straightforward slate. If this video did help, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.